You know, the number one reason you and all the women and girls can easily get manipulated is because you do not have any self respect. You do not have any standards, you do not have any boundaries, and you think just because you are good, everybody is going to be good to you. No, my dear, come out of your bubble fairy tale world. This is the real world, and when you are too innocent or too good, people are instead going to use you for their own benefits and they're not going to like you or be good to you. And you know what's the craziest and the most sick thing about manipulation is that unless your brain is constantly functioning and active 24/7, you're not even going to understand when did you get manipulated and how. Specifically in relationships and dating, you are never going to understand unless later, months later, that oh my god, that person was just manipulating you to use you for their own benefits. So, in this video, I am going to tell you how to not get manipulated. Number one, stop being impressed by the bare minimum. You know what your problem is? You can easily get impressed by a man as soon as he gets flowers for you, takes you out on a few dates, compliments you, calls you 100 times, and you think that you are the most special woman in the entire world, and he is obsessed in love with you, and you think that he's never going to do anything back to you, and you think about yourself that you are so special. Meanwhile, when you look out the outer world, he is literally doing the bare minimum and you are getting impressed by that, and that's why you're so easy to manipulate. It is so easy for a man to manipulate you because you do not have any self-worth, because you have never shown that love to yourself, and you are so desperate, so needy, that as soon as someone else does something for you, you think that you are extraordinary. Meanwhile, that man out there is just doing it so that he can use you out of you, take advantage of you, and just leave you. He is love bombing you, he is manipulating you, he is just taking out on a few dates, giving you flowers, calling you so that you think that he is in love with you, and then after he gets what he wants, he's going to leave you, my dear. He is not going to be there anymore. And this is not even entirely that person's mistake. This is your mistake too, because you do not have any self respect. You have never validated yourself. You have never tried to love yourself. And that is why you're so desperate. You're so needy for someone else to love you that as soon as someone else does something little bit nice for you, someone just compliments you, just gives you flowers, you think that you are the most extraordinary person. Let me give you the reality check that you are not that special, and stop being impressed by the bare minimum. I know that someone as a person, if you have never experienced those kind of beautiful things, and suddenly someone that is entering in your life and starts doing all of that for you, it's normal to get impressed that, oh, he is making me feel special. But also keep your brain active, because you have no idea how manipulative men are out there. They're just going to do all of those things to you so that you think that they are in love with you and then use you for the benefits. Number two, do not trust people too easily. Just because you are a good person and you think that because of that everybody else is going to be good to you and never do something back to you, you are living in a delusional world. I know that feeling because all of our parents, when they brought us up in a bubble fantasy world where we were safe and protected by them, they used to tell us that be a good person, be a good person. And that's when you're a good person, all good things are going to happen to you and no one is going to do anything bad to you. But when you actually go out there in the real world and you realize how disgusting this entire world is, and if you are too innocent and you're too good to people, they are not going to respect you. They are not going to be like, oh, she is such a nice person, she is such a humble person, she is such a good person. No. If you're too good, you're too nice, and you're always available for everybody, and you were doing everybody's work, people are going to use you like a doormat. They're going to walk all over you. They're going to use you completely in every single way, and you wouldn't even realize. You have to realize that people do not care whether you're a good person or not. People treat you the way you see yourself. And if you are too available for everybody, if you're too easy for everyone, whenever someone comes, your fellow colleague, your college friend or anybody else, and they want something to do with you and you are always there for them, they're not going to think that, oh my god, she is such a nice person. No, they are going to use you in every possible way. So here's the reality check, which even I got in my adulthood, that just because you are a good person doesn't mean people are going to be good to you. You have to be a wise and an intelligent and moreover a smart person to deal with this kind of world, because this world is not for the people who are extremely good or too nice. If you're too nice, you're gonna get used at least once in your lifetime, believe me. Number three, have strong boundaries and stop giving people second chances to show you again and betray you again and use you again to tell you how disgusting they are. I don't know why you do that. Logic is not logicking. Number one, what I'm trying to say here is that when you have strong boundaries for yourself, do not let anybody cross that. And the moment anybody tries to cross any boundaries, remove them instantly. You know what your problem is? Most of the time, when you have suffered through such situations where you're so exhausted either by a friendship or by a relationship, because you keep giving them chances, and that is what your problem is. Always remember, whether it's in a friendship or in a relationship, if a person in the first place shows you how disgusting they are and how betray they are going to make you feel, how bad kind of a person they are, and they hurt you, why don't you believe them? Why every single time something that like that happens, you certainly have this hope in your heart that, no, that person is going to change. Let me give that person a second chance. Let me give this friendship a second chance. They're not going to betray me again. They're not going to use me again. Maybe they're going to change. Maybe they're going to become a better person. Why you keep living in your delusional world when your reality, that person is telling you by themselves, showing you 1,000 times. Every time you're giving them chances, they are showing you how disgusting they are. But again and again, you keep giving them chances, and that is the reason you are so easy to manipulate. When you keep giving a person second chance, you think that they are going to change, whether it's in a relationship or in a friendship. But what you don't realize is they are thinking that, oh, she is so easy to manipulate. Every single time I do something bad, I'm just going to say sorry and then she's going to be okay. That is what your problem is, and that is how that person is manipulating you. So stop giving second chances and have really strong boundaries, because you should be feeling special about yourself. You should have that self respect that if someone uses you, if someone betrays you, if someone hurts you or does anything back to you, that person should not be having any kind of access in your life, because if they do, then you don't have any self respect. Number four, have a fulfilled and a happy life. You most of the time get manipulated when you're weak, needy, desperate, and you have no self worth. Because imagine if you are happy in your life, if you love yourself, if you're living a fulfilled life, you're focused on your ambitions, your hobbies, and you have this very happy, cheerful, fulfilling life. You have good friends, you have good family, you have nice cousins, you have this ambitions, goals that you have, and you're so indulged in your own life. Your life is itself so entertaining and busy. It is not, you can't get manipulated because you don't have time to get manipulated, and also you're not stupid enough to get manipulated. But have you seen, you get manipulated when you are your most vulnerable, your most weakest, your most needy and desperate version. When you feel alone, that you think that you're very lonely in your life and you have nobody, and you're so desperate for being in a relationship or having a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and you feel very you feel like you don't have anything going on in your life is so boring, so why shouldn't I date, why shouldn't I make more friends? I don't care if those kind of a friends or a partner is a bad person, what kind of a person they are, do they have bad habits? I just want to be having a boyfriend or a friendship. It's because you are lonely, you are needy, and you're desperate, and you don't have anything going on in your life. And that is why it is so easy for anybody to manipulate you at that moment. Because, you are already needy, you already are desperate. What else that person just has to do to manipulate you? The bare minimum, which is what I mentioned in the earlier point, that, Stop being impressed by the bare minimum. When you're lonely, when you're needy, when you're desperate, and you have nothing going on in your life, it is the easiest way to manipulate you. Because when you're needy and lonely, a person can just come up to you and be like, here I am existing. And you'll be impressed. You'll be like, oh, I have someone. That is the reason. So it is so important to have ambitions, hobbies, family time, friends, and your own fulfilled life. It is so important to love yourself, to show yourself that love, so that when someone comes to you in your life, you don't get manipulated by the bare minimum. And nobody is going to be able to manipulate you when you do that. Now, a very important point: raise your standards and don't feel guilty about it. You know, people are so friendly and so nice to you when you're available all the time, when you don't have any boundaries, you don't have any standards, you don't have any self respect. But the moment you try to become a better version of yourself, the moment you try to elevate your life, change yourself for the better, the moment you start having boundaries and you start respecting yourself and you start raising your standards, people just get insecure by you. People just think that, oh, why is she like that? Because now the what's changing here is those people who are getting insecure by you becoming a better version of yourself is because they were getting benefits from it. So always remember, the moment you raise your standards, have strong boundaries, have self-respect, and become a better version, if someone around you starts getting insecure by that or uncomfortable by the thought of it, it's because in some way the older version of you was benefiting them. It's because the nicer version of you, the more innocent, or you can say dumb version of you who doesn't have any brains to have boundaries and standards, was easier to manipulate. You were easier. And now when you're not, they are getting uncomfortable. So that is why I say raise your standards. And this is the most important point. How do you raise standards? When you start loving yourself. Because a person who doesn't love themselves can never be loved by anybody else. Because if you think of yourself lower, if you have low self-worth, you do not love yourself, you think of yourself as an average basic person, why do you want people around you to feel special about you? Why do you want people around you to be like, oh my God, she is so amazing, she is so ambitious, she is so admirable, when you don't even think about yourself that way? Why would people think about you that way? Have you ever seen celebrities, the great ones? You know, why people fantasize them? Because they fantasize themselves. They themselves say, I am the best and I know it. And they show up like that. And that is why that's the kind of nature behavior they are surrounded by. That's why all these fans and people are admiring them, because they are admiring themselves first. So raise your standards. You do not have to live a basic life, okay? Just because you're raising your standards, you think, oh, I'm never going to meet anybody who can match the standards. You're going to. You just have to be calm, patient, and loving your own life. And now comes the fun practical experiment part of the video. And here are two activities which I'm going to give you. And you got to do these two things and two steps in just 1 week. Okay. So number one is, I want you to take a notebook, a page, whatever, and I want you to make a list of all the people that you have in your life. It's your family members, it's your relatives, it's your friends, your cousins, your known ones, your professional people, everybody. I just want you to write their names down, whoever you talk to on daily basis or interact with or spend your time with. Now, I want you to observe all the names and I want you to see who all are the ones who are influencing you into your bad habits or just have a bad negative energy. Like, you get this sense of bad energy from them, that they're not someone who like you genuinely, but they're just doing this for the formal ways. And you just don't like their vibes. I just want you to cut off the names, and that is how I want you to cut off and delete them from your life too. Yes, you have to do this. I know it's not easy, but if you want a better life, you have to remove the toxic ones first. You have to do it. Now, number two, I want you to just do one simple thing. Whatever you listen to all this in this video, follow all the steps for 1 week and watch your entire life change magically. Number one thing you have to do, remove the bad energies and the bad people. And number two, you have to do all the steps that I have told you in this video, all the things that I have given you. Just use them in several ways in your life. Have strong boundaries, raise your standards, have self-respect, and do not trust people too easily. Okay? And thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this helped you in several ways. And I also want you to comment all your views under the comment section, because I would love to know how you feel about my videos. And also, if you want me to talk about any specific thing you're dealing with and you don't have anyone and you don't know how to, you're feeling very lonely, I would love to teach you on that, whatever I can help you with that. So comment your topics, your any issues that you're going through. Thank you so much for watching, and do subscribe to my channel if you want to become the best version of yourself and attract everything you want in life.